Welcome back everyone to another episode of SCUR. This is the second ever update for SCUR, and as such the version will be version 2.0. Now, a little bit backstory with the version naming system there. Last time we tried to make a version naming system, we named it SCMT version 1.0 through to 1.9, and when I got to 1.9 I was like, well, do I make 2.0 or do I make 1.10 following on from Minecraft's versioning system? Or I didn't really know what to do, so I decided to just kind of start a new one and label it in that I wanted to just make a new pack, and really I just kind of didn't really know what to do with it. And we kind of did make a new pack. We removed some old things and added in some new ones as well, but yeah, anyway, you guys aren't here to hear the whole history behind me changing around the naming of my resource pack. Like, the naming isn't even that important, come on. So today we're actually going to be showcasing the pack in version 1.13.2, I believe it is. Am I saying that right? Who knows? Minecraft 1.13.2, Minecraft 1.13.2, Minecraft 1.13.2 as some people call it. I think that's really stupid, by the way. So we're going to call it Minecraft 1.13.2 because that sounds good. And today I'm going to be showing you a few changes that we've made to the pack that include additions from Minecraft 1.13, and also a few changes that we've made to the base pack as well. So without further ado, I'll get right into it. So first of all, with Quartz, we have the regular Quartz blocks here, as you can see. Quartz is still very, very shiny. The entire texture is basically just white with virtually no variations, which I like. And of course, the ore form is still very white as well. The only difference is chiseled quartz, like this, as you can see now, has been changed to this kind of tile texture. Now, I'm not sure if any of you remember, but in previous versions of SCUR and SCMT, there was a little thing you could do where when you put two slabs on top of each other like that, this is actually a different block to this. Now, unfortunately, we've removed that. We've just removed it. When I transitioned over from Minecraft 1.12 to 1.13, I would estimate around 80% of the things in the pack were broken. It has taken me a very, very long time to get everything functioning again as correctly, and quite frankly, I really hope Minecraft don't do any big changes like they did for Minecraft 1.13 anytime soon. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but 1.13 is a nightmare for modders. Virtually no mods have been updated to 1.13 yet. Forge is very, very unstable. Resource packs in general were just a complete nightmare to change around, and it's just going to keep getting worse and worse before it gets better, unfortunately. So Minecraft was good for making that change. It needed to be done, but now we're going to suffer from it for a little while, but hopefully sometime in the future it'll be worth it, because it means we can have more block IDs, and it also means that the naming system for all the items and blocks is limitless and kind of makes more sense in a way. So yeah. So anyway, when I was switching over, I had a lot of problem with CTM. CTM was one of the biggest issues because it was so unclear what file names had to be changed. I mean, for one thing, there weren't really any information sources online of what to do with CTM because no one really has a clue what they're doing. So I kind of just fumbled around, had a guess, and a lot of the time I just ended up removing things. I have now replaced some of the things that were removed, but for example, with the half slabs, I just decided not to re-add it because I just didn't really like it. I didn't really like how it worked. So I thought it was a kind of, I mean, people have said this to me before in the past. They've complained that the whole double slab thing is kind of annoying, and I'm not sure if you know, but you can now, hang on a second, is it log? Or what are they called again? There it is. I need to change the name of these, actually. I'm going to do that in a future version. So what I had beforehand was that if you got two slabs of, for this one would be acacia planks, it would make this block. Now, some of the people that I used to play on servers with were really lazy with their building, and they would use double slabs to build full blocks. And I would, in my videos, get random acacia wood, you know, like the bark block as opposed to the plank block appearing in builds. And I got why it was annoying, because obviously if not everyone can see it, it's kind of odd, and it's not like everyone can see it in the way that my diamond block texture is different. It's an everyone can see it in a very different sense. So I just decided to remove it altogether. I thought it was a little bit gimmicky, and yeah, I just decided to get rid of it in the end as well. But I did still love the texture for these quartz tiles here. They're actually based on the dark prismarine texture, but kind of the opposite color scheme, just bright white with also a gray grid as well there. So I decided to keep them in the form of the chiseled quartz block, as you can see. So there you go. Quartz pillar is still the same, everything else. Now, beacons now have sounds. I'm not sure how loud that is. Hopefully we can turn it up a little bit here. There we go, yeah. So beacons have sounds, but why am I showing you this? So I decided that the beacon would sound more awesome if it was deeper. So all of the beacon sounds have been edited to sound a lot deeper. I love it. So cool. I love sound in games in general. And it makes so much sense for beacons to have sounds. I think it's great. So yeah, they've all been made a little bit deeper as well. In 1.13 now, we get on to some of the 1.13 changes. We have added blue ice, as you can see here. Now, I don't really understand the point of blue ice because I'm not really... I haven't really played Minecraft 1.13 at all, so blue ice is kind of a mystery to me. However, with regular ice and packed ice in the past, I have made ice more clear, and I've also removed the streaks from it so it looks a little bit more smooth. And I've done the same thing with packed ice in that I've removed the streaks from it, but kind of kept a little bit of a hint of the streaks there just so it does retain some of its original texture while looking more clean in general. I've just simply done the same thing for the blue ice texture as well. So again, removed the really obvious streaks, but I've re-added kind of a hint of them by having these blue streaks that go across the texture like that. And I think the blue ice looks really, really nice now. It also fits in with the theme of the other two. I don't know if any of you guys know, but my biggest kind of priority with this resource pack in general is what I like to call, I don't know, what would you even call it? I should really have thought this through. Conformity. I think conformity is a good word to have. So these three things look like they've come from the same kind of area, and it's ice, ice, and ice. So I don't know how best to explain it, but there you go. So moving on from that, we have jungle planks, and I'm talking specifically about the trapdoor and also the logs as well. Now, Minecraft 1.13 has added the ability to get, again, wood. Apparently this is just called dark oak wood, as opposed to a dark oak log like that. I think this should really be called bark. So again, like I said, I'm going to change that. I might even release a version 2.1, which is what that's for, by the way. And then what you can do is get yourself an axe, place this on the ground, right-click the wood, and it will shave the bark off, leaving kind of a halfway between planks and the bark, kind of. I don't really know. I don't really get what the point of this is, but it's an extra building block, so I like it. I've simply just changed the stripped jungle wood right here so that it kind of fits the color scheme of all the other wood as well. So it kind of better matches with our more saturated orange planks as opposed to the pink, kind of like strawberry pink planks that we get in default Minecraft. I've never really liked the pink color. I never use it in any builds. I much prefer the saturated orange, so I've changed the strip log texture to match that as well. Is basically a long story short. Kelp. Now, kelp was an interesting one. Again, just to clarify, I have no idea how most of these things work in Minecraft, so this might be really wrong. Yeah, I haven't really, again, as I mentioned, I haven't played Survival Minecraft 1.13 at all. I might do it at some point in the future. Well, I definitely will at some point in the future, but not just yet. So we have, first of all, regular kelp. Regular kelp was really kind of weirdly textured. It consisted of basically just three colors. One color down the middle, one color around the edge, and then a really bright lime green in the center, and I just thought it looked atrocious. So all I've really done is made it darker, so it fits my kind of like darker, more gritty theme, with the grass being darker and blocks being darker and things being less, what's the word? Saturated in general. I don't know, apart from the wood. That wood's good. So I've made it kind of more dark, and I've also added a bit of a gradient down the line here. You can see it has just a kind of a smoother and more natural looking texture as well. And I've also changed the dried kelp just a little bit, so it's now based off the original texture, much darker, again with quite like almost like a burnt texture as well, with the end cut off there as well, because the dried kelp texture was basically just looked like a bundle of sticks. So yeah. Also the block, I don't know if any of you guys know this, but this kind of thing really annoys me in Minecraft as well, is when you have a block of something and suddenly, even though it's just been 9 of these crafted together, there's like red ribbons going around it, you know? Where did the red ribbon come from? I don't know, it looks tacky and it makes no sense and I dislike. So I've simply changed the dried kelp block to look a little bit different, like that. Now again, I'm not 100% decided on this block just yet, unfortunately. It is kind of a placeholder for the time being, but again, if I do choose to update it in the future, I will let you guys know, and I will release an updated version as well. But for now, I think this is a much bigger improvement on Minecraft's existing dried kelp block as well. Now, I was going to change seaweed, but I decided not to. Instead, I just decided to rename it. So as you guys know, seaweed is actually called seagrass. I thought this made no sense, so I changed it to seaweed. And you can also see here there's a little spoiler for another change as well, with our friend the cod, who's just swimming back and forth for no reason. Off he goes. Brilliant. Yes, I was going to change the texture of these to be not animated, because I don't like the fact that these are animated and grass, just like regular grass, isn't. Again, conformity. I feel like this is kind of a thing where if this is animated, this shouldn't be. Or if this is not animated, this shouldn't be. Did I say that right? No, I didn't. I didn't say that right, did I? If this is animated, then this should be as well. But if this is not, this shouldn't be. So these two things are kind of like, they go against each other's principles, if you know what I mean. I would much rather have them just added seagrass, but have it be still. Now, the problem is, I changed the animation so that it was just the first frame for each of these, and it just didn't move at all. But it didn't look right, because I've seen too much of them moving, so I just kind of left it for now. Again, I may change that, I may come back to you with a different version of that, but for now, they're keeping their animation, unfortunately. I might try and add animations to the grass, but then I think it would look a bit weird, so I'm not really sure. I'm undecided once again, but I'm probably just going to leave it the way it is, because I don't know. It looked really weird when I took the animations off, so I'm not really fussed. Moving on from that, we have Tortoise Eggs. Did I get that right? No, Turtle Eggs. Damn it. Year 5 mistakes. Turtles and tortoises are basically the same thing. Yeah. So I've simply changed the turtle eggs so they no longer have the little specks on them as well. So they're just kind of a more neat colour. And again, this is just very me in terms of how I like to have my resource pack. The eggs are much simpler. They have like a very, very faint and very simple gradiented texture to them, like you can see there. And I've just realized I didn't do a test recording, so I'm kind of shitting myself now, wondering whether this is actually recording or not. I'm not sure. Hopefully it is. Never mind. I haven't done Minecraft YouTubing in a while, as I'm sure you guys are aware. Yeah, so egg, white, better. There you go. In terms of maps, I've actually changed how the banners work in-game. Again, I'm not sure if you guys know, but there is a change in Minecraft 1.13 where if you right-click a map on a banner, like for example one over there, then the banner will actually appear on the map. And if the banner has a name, which this one does, if I just run over and grab that, you see it's called orange with a smiley face, it will actually display the name on the map as well. I think this is a great feature, something that's really, really helpful for maps in general, and I love making wall maps in Minecraft, so this is a great change. You know, you can map out your world and you can properly label each of your bases with like little name tags like that. I think it's a great idea. I can't wait to use this properly in survival as well. I'm actually making myself want to play Minecraft 1.13 right now. It's actually a really good update. I don't give it enough credit. But yeah, and also we have another blue banner over there, which actually is out of render distance, which is a mistake, but it's somewhere over there, and that one doesn't have a name. Now, these banners do actually appear on the map as quite large and ugly banner shapes. I've simply changed them so they're just a very small and neat little dot like that, just so they're a little bit less intrusive as well. So there you go. Moving on from that, as I'm sure you kind of saw before, I have actually done quite a bit of tweaking to the fish textures. Now, the fish are a bit of a weird one. Simply because when they added these new fish textures here, it kind of made me question whether or not I should change all the fish in one way or another way, or I'm not really sure. I kind of just didn't know what to do with it, really. So again, cod has now been changed so that cod is kind of like a beige colour, as in like a creamy beige. Salmon virtually the same, so they're fine. The pufferfish looks completely different. He's the same colour scheme and everything, but he just looks completely different. And also the clownfish. Well, the clownfish is a bit of a weird one. I don't really know what to do with this, to be honest. Hang on. Let me just show you an example. So this is the tropical fish spawn egg. I'm going to go get a few of these guys over here. Yes, this is the issue. Tropical fish no longer have one set texture. They have loads. They come in literally all shapes and sizes like this. And I have no idea what to do with this. I've just decided to just kind of just lump it and just have the clownfish like so. Now, I was considering changing all the fish textures to just look like the clownfish, which is something that you can quite easily do. But again, I like the variety. And I also understand why they haven't given each of these individual fish individual mob IDs and individual items and individual buckets and individual spawn eggs, because it would be way too many. There would be as many fish as there are every other mob in the game. So I get why they've done it this way, but it does, I don't know, it just kind of annoys me. I don't know, it's just my OCD kicking in. Anyway, so what I could have done here is change my cooked fish texture to have the beige cod. I could have also changed my animated texture to better map with the beige cod. I could have changed the spawn egg to have the beige cod spawn egg. I could have changed the bucket so that it had the beige as well there. But what it says I do is I went the long way around and I decided to keep the original cod texture, which I do like, which is the blue cod texture. And instead I have changed the actual cod mob, as in like the actual fish itself, is now blue, and its texture does really closely reflect the old item, as you can see here. I've combined the new cooked cod and the old cod together so that the old cod has its face and tail, but the inner bit there, which is kind of this nice new texture, which I actually do quite like, is from the new cod, and I just think it looks really good, so I just kind of merged the two together to get this new texture, which is half and half old and new. I also changed all the bucket textures, weirdly enough, so that they would have the old cod as well. That salmon is my salmon that I have down here. The pufferfish has had its color scheme, its colors changed slightly, so I think it's become slightly less saturated just to match up with my other pufferfish texture, and this one's become slightly more saturated, just so that they kind of go a little bit closer to each other again. And I've also changed the clownfish texture as well, just in the bucket. Now, for the spawn eggs, again, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, but the cod spawn egg had like a weird beige colour to it, so I've simply changed the colour coding so that it has the same kind of bluey and dark blue scheme, as you can see there. Now, this was a little bit of a pain to do, but I really like the way it's turned out, because we've basically just completely transformed the way that this mob looks. See if I can just grab him. There we go, Scott. He's going to be just killing himself, but there you go. I've completely changed the way that this mob looks, but it looks exactly like how the old mob should have looked. So this is essentially what the original Minecraft COD would have looked like if Minecraft didn't just make the strange decision to just change the COD to a beige colour as opposed to the classic blue colour, which I just really like. Damn it. Oh, I actually killed it. Okay, there we go. I forget you can kill grass with axes, because obviously in creative mode you can't kill the ground with swords, you know? Yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah, onwards from that we have the Trident. I didn't change any of the Trident texture, however I did change the Trident model, because the colour scheme on the Trident's model didn't match up at all with the Trident's item texture, and I simply preferred the item texture over the model texture, so I edited the model file so that it better reflected the item texture. So it's like the proper shade of green now, and the spit, and like the, what do you call them, the spikes? The daggers, the spikes? I don't know. The spikes are a much nicer colour now as well, so they're kind of like a much more pale white as well. Again, I don't even know how you get tridents. Like, they're so cool, and look how far you can throw them. Like, Jesus, I can't believe no one's made a point of this, but look how strong the player is. He just javelin tossed a metal trident, like 100 meters, just casually. It doesn't even move, it's just like, boop, and it just flies. That's madness. Someone's going to make a video about how strong Steve is for throwing this. I guarantee it. It's going to be one of those weird game theory videos, like how heavy does the diamond armor weigh? It'll be how incredibly strong is Steve for just casually lobbing this metal rod, like miles. It's ridiculous. Anyway, moving on from that, we also have the Heart of the Sea, as you can see here. I really like this. I really, really like this. It's very cool. So for the Heart of the Sea, the textures that have been changed are as follows. The little particle effects that come in from the prismarine there have been changed. The eye of the Heart of the Sea has been made a much more neutral white colour as opposed to the weird reddy-yellow combination which didn't really fit the bluey ocean colours in general. So again, the Heart of the Sea looks more in place in the sea. There's no red, there's just bluey colours which work well in water, obviously. And yeah, and also the particle effect in the inventory has been changed to match the colour of the eye as well. So again, it's not got that kind of reddy yellow iris, whatever you even call it. It's just kind of got the white glow in the middle as well. So I really like the way this looks. And again, I have no idea how you get these, but I want one. So we're going to be playing Minecraft Survival in 1.13 pretty soon. I'm going to enjoy it. Finally, and last but not least, we have the Phantom. In fact, I'm going to make it nighttime because it's more scary. Oh yes. Oh yes. So cool. Okay, I can't be arsed chasing him down, so hang on a second. Kill at entity brackets. No. Brackets type equals not player. There we go. Okay. I was really worrying that was going to kill the Heart of the Sea, but it doesn't appear to be an entity. I think it's a block technically, isn't it? Yeah, it's a block. You can still pick it when it's there. Very cool. So anyway, what was I trying to say about the... oh no, the item frames count as... Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll deal with it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so I was trying to say that the Phantoms... The Phantoms now have a really kind of creepy sound to them, which is actually taken kind of a combination of... Jesus, how much stuff did I just destroy? Doesn't matter. The Phantom's sound effects are now a combination of their default sound effects, which are kind of like the biting and the hissing, but they're also combined with the sound effects of the Nazgul from Lord of the Rings. Now, those guys are kind of like creepy skeleton Ghost Rider dudes, and if you go and watch any clips from Lord of the Rings, I might even link one in the description below, but yeah, search for the Nazgul, and they sound terrifying, and I just thought it fit really well with the Phantoms as well. I've also changed the colour of the spawn egg to match their new texture, which you can see there. They're really loud, hang on. They're really, really loud. That's better. Yeah, so when the Phantoms were first announced, I thought they were a great idea. I thought this is going to be, you know, a cool mob. The first ever real flying mob, if you may. I mean, obviously we have things like parrots, and we have the Ender Dragon, and so on. But come on, these guys are really cool. They have like wings, and they glide around, and they glide around at night, and there's this kind of really creepy aspect to them where they come if you don't sleep, which gives them kind of like a creepypasta vibe. And they're just so cool. I think they're really, really cool. And then, of course, they made them blue and green. Disappointment. Blue and green, really. There's so much potential here for scariness, and they made them blue and green. I was really disappointed. So I decided to, you know, do what I do best with this game, and simply go ahead and change the way they look entirely. And now they have a sort of like purpley leathery skin with bright red eyes. And again, I'm going to have to get myself another Phantom Egg because I destroyed the one that was here. That was clever. Okay, let's make it nighttime again. So this guy doesn't kill himself. There we go. Okay, there we go. So this is our Phantom. Red eyes, as you can see there. It's a little bit difficult chasing these guys around. I probably should have spawned one in with no AI. But I can't be asked. Why is he sticking to the ground like glue? What's going on with that? Do they usually do that? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so again, they have a kind of a purpley black leathery texture to their skin now as well. And they also have the bright red eyes. And they sound amazing. I think they're awesome. Every single sound has been changed to match the Nazgul, but it also combines a little bit of the original sound effects in as well, so it doesn't just sound too mad, it just sounds like a really, really angry version of Minecraft's regular Phantom. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. That has been SCUR version 2.0. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please, please do appreciate this, because it took me literally weeks to get everything working again perfectly. Again, the CTM glass, nightmare. The doors, a nightmare in themselves. Pretty much all the block IDs, nightmare. These rails, this was just like, I think I had like, what do you call it? A stroke. I think I had a literal stroke trying to get these to work. So yeah, please, if you appreciate me making this for you, and you're actually going to use it, because I know some people do, I know that it does have downloads, and this is probably one of the most popular things that I do. If you do appreciate me doing all this, please do show your support, even if it's literally just a comment saying, you know, thanks, dude. Just literally just that. You know, yeah. Anyway, download is in the description as usual. So, yeah. Enjoy. Yeah. Next up, by the way, we're going to start a series in Minecraft 1.12. It's going to be modded Minecraft. And it's going to involve trains. So, yeah. Okay, bye.